Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Ka Halal Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Wakwa Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. I want to speak upon the destruction of Babylon. All right. Basically, I'm just going to, read the scriptures and paint an illustration of what's to expect, in the latter days that are coming soon, and what it's gonna look like too. So I'm gonna read out of the book of Hebrews, because these are the type of things. What I'm about to read out of Revelation, these are the type of things that we have to constantly remind ourselves of. We constantly have to remind ourselves of the destruction of Babylon, the destruction of not just Babylon, but the destruction of this kingdom, which is run by the so-called white man, which is known as Esau in the scriptures. And these are the things that are going to keep us in check, because we're not perfect, man. Our spirit is fighting to be righteous, but our flesh is weak. So we're constantly going to be going back and forth, and going back and forth within our spirit and within our flesh. And we want to make sure that predominantly of the time, or most of the time, we're in our spirit. We're thinking spiritually. And the only way to do that, well, you have a couple ways to do that, man. Fast, pray, and read the scriptures, man. Remind yourself. Keep reminding yourself. All right, now, this is Revelation 18, and I'm gonna start from 15. So it says, Revelation 18 and 15. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment. Slack it. Let me read that one more time. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment. Now, the her that is talking about is parabolic for America. America, when you read the scriptures, America is the woman that's known as the virgin. All right, and the reason why is because a virgin is a woman that hasn't been penetrated, right? A woman that hasn't been touched or penetrated by a man. America, being that woman, as a metaphor, hasn't been penetrated by any city, hasn't been penetrated by any other nation. They've been, even though now America's starting to dwindle down to the bottom, they've been on the top for a while back in the day. And now America's America's slowly crumbling. And America is about to get ready to be penetrated by a bunch of missiles, man. And when that happens, she's not going to be a virgin anymore. So the her that is talking about is America, which is also spiritually known as Babylon, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, and reincarnation. And the merchants are these other cities or the other nations that have been, that have eaten well and made, good amount of money off of the things that America had to offer when America was, in her glory days. But now, you got so much people who don't want to be in America, who don't want to live in America, or who are trying to get out of America. One of the two, because they all see the same thing, and that's the downfall of America, okay? Which is also known as Babylon. So it says, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. The fear of her torment, man. Like, you know, and a lot of people that are leaving are these other nations, man. These heathens, like these Moabites, right? So your so-called Chinese, the so-called East Indians, the so-called Saudi Arabians, you know, so-called Africans, which are Hamites. All these heathens that are in America and were doing good and prospering in America when America was at the top. Now that America is slowly dwindling down to nothing, they're starting to get out, man. And not only because they see America's downfall through the lack of, you know, financial stability, but they see, you know, first of all, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, if there's any man that's gonna, you know, plunge America into World War III, it's gonna be Donald Trump. And these other nations see that, man. So they're, you know, they're kind of cutting ties with America. You know, and it's gonna be, according to the scriptures, man, it's gonna be with Russia in the Middle East. Okay, and you know, Russia's a big superpower, man. There's a lot of nations out there that don't want to fuck with Russia. And if they know that they're, you know, allies to America and America is trying to poke the bear, so to speak, you know, they're gonna cut their ties and step back because they don't want to be involved in such destruction. All right. So that's why it says that they're gonna stand afar off for the fear of her torment and wailing, which is gonna be through the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay. And it says, verse 16, and saying, alas, alas, the great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Like, again, I said, this is a metaphor, right? So at one time, it's talking about a woman that's dressed beautifully. That woman is America. So at one time, America was the place to be at, man. That was the place to be. Everybody, you know, if you wanted to become a famous and rich, you want to go to Hollywood, man. You went to America, the American dream. Now, no one's talking anything about the American dream. America is a wicked-ass place where people die constantly. All right? There's no judgment. There's no righteousness in America. All right? There's no righteousness for Israel in America. That's actually your captivity over there, man. All right? And even these other nations can't prosper like they would like to in America anymore. So America's finished. It says, verse 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, excuse me, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning. The smoke of her burning is going to come through the way of these nuclear missiles, man. ICBM missiles, intercontinental berserk or ballistic missiles. And you know, Esau has been recorded saying that the heat in these missiles is the heat that we have that's closest to the sun. So when that shit hits the ground, man, your eyes are literally gonna are gonna disintegrate within the sockets. You know, your flesh is gonna burn right off your hands, man, right off your skeleton, right off your bones. And so that's what it's talking about when it says that. It says, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, a great city wherein we were made rich, all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her coastlines. For in 1 hour is she made desolate, which means destroyed. Verse 20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, which are who, man? The elect, the 144,000 that are here on the earth right now, pushing this work in truth and sincerity, man, non-stop. That's who the holy apostles and the prophets are. For Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, has avenged you on her, which is true. How's that a vengeance? Okay, well, let me go over to Revelation 13, Revelation 13:9. This is how he revenged America for us, those of us that are of the elect. If any man have an ear, let him hear. This is Revelation 9 and Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. And that's what America basically did to. That's what America exactly did to Israel, man. They put us into captivity. You know, America was built on the backs of Jake, man. On the back of on the blood that came on the blood of Israel. All right. And they killed us too. They killed us tons of times, man. You know how much of us they got rid of on the way over here when we were traveling by sea, feeding us to the sharks just for the fun of it. They're that wicked. And now we're to the point where we're in America and they're just beating us down, man. Killing us all over the place. Although it's judgment, but that's still what Esau's doing. And it's wicked. So it says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And guess who the saints are? The elect. And that's what they're waiting for. The revenge, the patience and the faith of the saints. We have faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to reap vengeance upon our enemies for us by using us too to do so. So back to Revelation 18 and let's go 18 and 21. And a mighty angel took upon a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Whew, complete desert. And the voice of the harpers and the musicians and of the pipers and trumpets shall be heard no more. You know, all this fucking Hollywood type lifestyle that you see on TV every time, all that shit's gonna be done. No more Kim Kardashian shows, no more BET, no more of that black evil television. All right, no more of that nonsense, man. Musicians and of pipers and trumpets shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in the city, and sound of millstone, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. It says, the last verse, and the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom, and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. That's right, man. All the nations are deceived. Everybody wants to, like, really, when you break it down, it goes down to Jake, because predominantly Jake live in America. But you know, when you see all these shows and you see how Jake dress, how Jake smile, how Jake talk, how Jake walk, All the other nations want to act like Israel, man. They all want to act like America. You know, that's why I always say, man, like Toronto, it's our own little like USA in Canada, man. And all the other nations are doing it, man. That's why these people from the Middle East are moving. You know, at one point they were moving to America because they were yearning that lifestyle, man. You know, they wanted to break away from their customs, their family traditions and customs. Now, just the roles are reversed, man. America's slowly dwindling and getting and breaking down into nothing, and people are starting to see that, man. So with that, I want to close, and I'm going to say Kahala Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai Bahashim Wakar Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, man, and death and destruction to this wicked kingdom and Esau and 2/3 of Israel. Shalom.